Hey everyone, it's Sam from Sugar Spun Run, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade chocolate truffles. As you are about to see, chocolate truffles are super simple to make at home. I have a few tips and tricks I'm excited to share with you today, so let's begin. The first thing that you are going to need is 12 ounces of a quality chocolate bar. I like to use a dark chocolate. This is 60% chocolate, but semi-sweet will also work. What we're going to do is we're going to break this into pieces. Coarsely chop it and place it in a medium-sized heat-proof bowl. We are now going to microwave our chocolate until it is melted. Now, microwaving your chocolate before adding the heavy cream that's going to make the truffles might be a new concept to you. It's something I picked up from following Alton Brown and Cooks Illustrated. What I learned is that if you melt your chocolate before you add your cream, once you add your cream, you're going to be able to combine those two ingredients much more easily than if the chocolate wasn't melted beforehand. This is important because it's going to prevent you from whisking a lot of air into this ganache that's going to make our truffles, and it's going to result in much creamier truffles. So that is why we are going to be microwaving this chocolate first. Now, microwave this in just 15 to 20-second intervals and make sure you stir really well in between each one. If you just nuke this chocolate and zap it for about a minute or 2 minutes, you're going to seize your chocolate. We're not going to be able to make truffles with that. 15-second increments and stir really well in between. All right, our chocolate is melted, so now we can set that aside and we are going to head over to our stovetop. You're just going to need a small saucepan now, and we are going to add 2/3 cup of heavy cream into the saucepan. I am also going to be adding 1.5 tablespoons of light corn syrup in with my heavy cream. Now, if you don't keep corn syrup on hand, if you don't frequently bake with it, you can leave this out, but I love to include it because it helps make those truffles nice and creamy. I'm all about the creamy truffles. We'll also add just a pinch of salt. I like to include about 1/8 teaspoon of salt in this just for flavor. And we'll heat this cream mixture, stirring frequently over medium to medium-low heat until it comes to a simmer. All right, so now that our heavy cream mixture is simmering, we are going to remove that from heat, and we are going to add just 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Just quickly stir that in. And now we'll pour our heavy cream mixture over our melted chocolate, but do not stir these together. You're going to need a piece of plastic wrap and tightly cover that bowl to trap in that heat. Let these ingredients sit together for about 4 to 5 minutes, and once that time has passed, now you can remove the plastic wrap, and now we can stir together the cream and the chocolate. Just gently stir until everything is nicely combined. It might seem like your ingredients don't want to combine. The cream and chocolate are going to try to stay separated at first, but just keep stirring and everything will come together. Once that's combined, we're going to add just a tablespoon of softened, unsalted butter. Just stir this together until the butter is melted and your ganache is smooth. The ganache for our chocolate truffles is done, but you do still have to wait a little while before we can roll these into actual truffles. So right now, you are going to need another piece of plastic wrap, and you are just going to place this directly on top of your ganache. So what you want is you want the plastic to be touching the surface of the ganache. Let your ganache sit at room temperature for 1 to 2 hours, or however long it takes for that ganache to get down to room temperature. You do not want it to be warm once you put it in your fridge. Once it's cooled, we are going to transfer it to our fridge, where we are going to need to let it cool for at least another 2 hours. I already have some in the fridge that I prepped last night, so I'm going to go grab that now. So I made this chocolate ganache last night in preparation for today's video, so now we can go ahead and scoop this into truffles. I'm going to use a cookie scoop to scoop out about 2 teaspoons of dough per truffle. Now, because I left this ganache in the fridge overnight, it is pretty firm and it can be tricky to roll out a truffle. Now, you want a firm ganache, but if it is just too difficult for you to be able to scoop out the dough, you can let it sit at room temperature for 10 to 15 minutes. Don't let it sit too long though, because if it's too soft and too easy to scoop, it's just gonna make a mess. So I've scooped my truffle, but now it still needs to be rolled into a nice, neat little ball. The best way to do this is to roll it in your hands, but to dust your hands first with powdered sugar. So I have this plate here that I've just kind of covered with powdered sugar, and I'm just going to put my palms in it and just lightly dust them that way with powdered sugar. And then I will roll the truffle into a ball that way. It's going to help keep the chocolate from sticking to my hands and making a huge mess. Making truffles is always a little messy, but this just helps keep the process a little bit neater. And we'll just place that on a wax paper lined baking sheet. Now that you've rolled out all of your truffles, you can roll them through whatever topping you prefer. Chopped toasted nuts, sprinkles, cocoa powder, all are really popular options, and I'm going to leave a list in the description of some of my favorite truffle toppings. Today, I am just going to be rolling mine through some chocolate sprinkles. Now, if your truffles have started to firm up and they're not really soft around the outside anymore, you can just briefly roll them through your hands again until the surface is a little bit shiny, and that will help the sprinkles cling on to the truffle again. So that's what I'm gonna do real quick here, and then roll through my sprinkles. As you can see, I got a little carried away as we got further down with our truffles, and some of them are a lot bigger than the 2 teaspoons we started out with. You can make them whatever size you prefer. Once you've rolled your truffles, they are ready to serve. I always store mine refrigerated, but I think they taste best when they are at room temperature, so I like to let them come to room temperature before serving. I hope you guys enjoyed today's easy truffle recipe. If you try it out, please leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey, if you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you will give me a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this easy candy recipe, here are a few others you might like as well.